Hello, welcome to MMB 3100. This is your practical session and we're outside at the bridge leading up to the beach. Behind us used to be a mangrove forest, but is now converted to a channel that leads to the sea. We will look at a few different shorelines, starting with mangroves.
This is what we already introduced in the class, that supposingly we bring you for a walk and see the beach behind UMT. We try our best to bring you virtually. Mangrove forest is a very dynamic and highly productive ecosystem. They provide ideal breeding grounds for most marine organisms. Estimated 75% of commercially caught fish spend some time in mangrove areas. Mangrove forests also comprise habitat for thousands of marine species and forest food webs. Mangrove protects both saltwater and freshwater ecosystems. The complex root system of mangrove plants filtered nitrates and phosphates that rivers and streams carry to the sea. They act as buffers to keep seawater from mixing with inland waterways. Mangrove areas also protect shoreline areas and help to stabilize the sandbars against erosion. Mangrove also act as a natural protector for shorelines from damaging storms, hurricanes, strong winds, waves, and floods. Humans depend on mangrove for their survival and livelihood. From the source of food to fuel, charcoal industry, tourism, medicines, and building material for houses and boats.
The water seen here is brackish water, which means it is more saline than freshwater, but less saline than seawater. The water from this channel flows into the sea, and the mixing creates an area of high nutrient concentration. The discoloration seen here is the effect of sedimentation and high nutrient, affecting the visibility of the water. This sediment here is silt. It is naturally formed by the process of erosion of rocks. The sediment particle is fine, and when mixed with water, it creates this sludge-like texture. Its fine particles hold water instead of draining it out. Mangrove trees have evolved their roots to live in this type of sediment. Okay, now we will move to the beach near UMT. Beaches can be classified by their composition, which includes sandy, pebble, or boulder. The beach closest to UMT is a sandy beach that faces the South China Sea. This beach has a gentle slope. The most common are sandy beaches, and they are further characterized by their color. White sandy beaches are preferred by tourists, and they get their color from pulverized dead corals. Other types of sandy beaches vary from black, pink, orange, green, and blue. They often vary in color depending on the biological influences or physical property of the sand. Sandy beaches typically have a gentle sloping profile and are normally found when the water is shallow and are exposed to weaker wave energy. On the contrary, we also have rocky beaches, or normally referred to as rocky shore, where it can consist of pebbles or boulders. They can withstand stronger waves and are typically steeper in profile. The strong wave force on loose rocks and constant abrasion between each other forms the smooth, rounded pebbles. Rocky shores are made of solid rock that erodes over time from wave and tidal activity. Sometimes, they form rock pools where smaller ecosystems can be established. We just came from over there and we walked all the way here onto this wave breaker. So currently we're standing on man-made wave breaker, and if you look around, it has divided the beach into two sides. The structure we are standing on is a man-made wave breaker. It is one of many structures placed along this beach. Because this beach is subjected to strong waves, the wave breakers protect the coast by absorbing the force of the waves before it reaches the sandy beach. This prevents erosion of the sandy beach, which could lead to further disruption to our coastal community if left untreated.
Right, echoing what Dr. Afiq mentioned about man-made wave breaker. If you see the geological perspective are so different, it's not natural. The sand is not natural. It's not sedimentation from the coral, for example. It is actually bring up the sand from outside and bring here.
This process, also known as land reclamation, it is to perform with a view of improving productivity in particular places.
And if you can see the division of the beach, previous years, 15 years ago, this is actually long sandy beach, not separated beaches, it's actually long. But because of the extension of the airport area that I mentioned in the lecture, this is the impact from there, and you can see, yeah, it's a man-made. Okay? So when you have chances, you can come here and see yourself.
The accumulation of trash can be found in both mangrove area and beach area. The reason is wave and current wash up every debris to these places.
That concludes the different types of geographical and physical features tutorial.